Welcome back to my YouTube channel. Have you ever wondered how a small, everyday coin could turn into a multi-million-dollar treasure overnight? If you are fascinated by rare coins, numismatics, and the incredible stories behind them, then today's journey into the world of the 1989 Lincoln penny will leave you absolutely amazed. So make sure to like and subscribe for more eye-opening content. The 1989 Lincoln penny, a coin from the United States, may seem ordinary at first glance. After all, it is just a penny, the smallest denomination in American currency. But its extraordinary value of $324 million has turned it into one of the most coveted collectibles in history, and understanding why it is worth such an astronomical sum requires delving into the unique factors, errors, and historical significance that make this coin so remarkable. First, it is essential to note that the Lincoln penny series has been in continuous production since 1909, commemorating the 100th anniversary of Abraham Lincoln's birth. And over the decades, certain years and minting anomalies have created coins that are exceptionally rare and highly sought after by collectors, investors, and enthusiasts alike. The 1989 Lincoln penny is one such coin, distinguished not only by its date but also by the circumstances surrounding its minting, distribution, and the errors that occurred during its production, which have contributed to its unprecedented value. To fully appreciate the significance of this coin, it is necessary to understand both the broader context of Lincoln pennies and the specific details that make the 1989 issue stand out. Unlike some earlier pennies, which gained value primarily because of their age or silver content, modern pennies like the 1989 Lincoln penny derive their worth largely from rarity, error types, and demand within the numismatic market. And in the case of the 1989 penny, multiple factors converge to create a perfect storm of collectability and investment potential. One of the most significant elements affecting the value of this coin is its minting errors, which are a key driver of collector interest. Misstrikes, double dies, off-center strikes, and planchet anomalies are among the errors that can turn a common penny into a million-dollar rarity, and the 1989 Lincoln penny includes several examples of these mistakes that are both fascinating to study and nearly impossible to find in circulation. The double die variety, for instance, occurs when the coin's die, the metal stamp used to strike the design, accidentally imprints the design twice, slightly misaligned, creating a visual doubling effect on the date, lettering, or other design elements, and collectors often prize these errors because they are rare and visually striking, making the coin instantly recognizable to those in the know. In addition to the double die, some 1989 pennies were struck on defective planchets, the blank metal discs that are transformed into coins, and these planchets may have been improperly prepared, leading to unusual textures, off-metal compositions, or striking anomalies that further increase the coin's desirability and scarcity. Off-center strikes are another intriguing aspect of the 1989 Lincoln penny's value story. When a coin is struck slightly off the intended center, part of the design is missing, creating a dramatic and unique appearance, and while many off-center coins exist, the degree of misalignment and the preservation of the remaining design contribute directly to the coin's premium value. The condition of the coin is also paramount. Coins that are graded as mint state, meaning they show no wear from circulation and retain sharp details, are exponentially more valuable than circulated examples, and even among mint state coins, professional grading by services such as PCGS or NGC can certify authenticity and assign a numerical grade, further impacting the market price. For the 1989 Lincoln penny, certain high-grade examples with rare errors have sold for millions, with collectors recognizing the historical and financial significance of owning a coin that combines both rarity and a dramatic story. The 1989 Lincoln penny also benefits from its connection to the broader Lincoln cent narrative, which has fascinated collectors for over a century. The series was revolutionary when introduced in 1909 because it marked the first time a U.S. coin featured a historical figure, and Abraham Lincoln's enduring popularity as a symbol of leadership, perseverance, and American history has only increased the appeal of coins bearing his image. Moreover, the coin's design, engraved by Victor David Brenner, featuring Lincoln's profile on the obverse and the Lincoln Memorial on the reverse, adds artistic and cultural value that resonates with collectors who appreciate not just monetary worth, but also aesthetic and historical significance. Beyond these physical and historical factors, the story of the 1989 Lincoln penny's market trajectory is equally compelling. Reports of sales reaching $324 million, while astonishing, highlight the speculative and high-stakes nature of rare coin collecting where scarcity, provenance, and desirability converge to create staggering valuations, and such stories inspire both seasoned collectors and newcomers to the hobby to hunt for the next rare find that could change their financial future. Social media, online auctions, and numismatic forums have further amplified the coin's fame, with enthusiasts sharing images, grading reports, and sales results that fuel demand and maintain the coin's position as a symbol of extreme rarity and investment potential. And this digital visibility has helped cement the 1989 Lincoln penny as a household name among collectors worldwide. It is also worth noting that the coin's value is not static. The numismatic market is influenced by supply, demand, trends, and historical interest, meaning that while $324 million may represent a high watermark, the true value of a specific 1989 Lincoln penny depends on its unique attributes, including error type, grade, provenance, and overall appeal, and collectors must exercise diligence when buying or selling to ensure authenticity and fair pricing. The appeal of this coin extends beyond individual collectors to investors who view rare coins as a tangible asset class that can diversify portfolios, hedge against inflation, and offer both historical and financial rewards. And in the case of the 1989 Lincoln penny, its scarcity, condition, and documented sales history make it a particularly compelling option for those seeking long-term value in physical collectibles. Educationally, the coin serves as a fascinating case study in the mechanics of minting, the impact of human and mechanical errors, and the ways in which scarcity and desirability shape markets. Numismatic scholars and hobbyists alike study the 1989 Lincoln penny to understand error patterns, grading standards, and the dynamics of collector behavior, demonstrating that even a single penny can offer profound insights into history, economics, and artistry. The story of the 1989 Lincoln penny is also intertwined with the broader cultural fascination with million-dollar coins, a phenomenon that captures the imagination because it illustrates how ordinary objects, when rare or unusual enough, can acquire extraordinary value, and this narrative resonates with a universal desire to uncover hidden treasures, recognize patterns of scarcity, and witness history transforming everyday items into iconic artifacts. For collectors, owning a 1989 Lincoln penny is about more than just financial gain. It is a connection to a lineage of coin production, a tangible piece of U.S. history, and a testament to the enduring appeal of Abraham Lincoln as a national icon, and this intangible value, pride, prestige, and historical significance, complements the tangible market price, creating a multidimensional allure that few other collectibles can match. Even the story of the coin's discovery, whether it emerges from a dusty coin jar, a forgotten bankroll, or a high-profile auction, adds layers of excitement, and the thrill of identifying rare errors or pristine mint-state coins transforms the simple act of collecting into a passionate pursuit that can capture a lifetime of dedication and curiosity. As the 1989 Lincoln penny continues to circulate within the numismatic world, it inspires ongoing discussion, research, and fascination, prompting collectors to hunt for similar rare finds, explore historical mint records, and engage with a global community that shares an appreciation for the convergence of artistry, history, and financial significance. Whether you are a seasoned collector seeking to add a jewel to your portfolio, a casual enthusiast captivated by the stories behind rare coins, or an investor intrigued by alternative assets, the 1989 Lincoln penny offers a compelling narrative that combines rarity, historical resonance, minting anomalies, and dramatic market performance, making it a coin that will be remembered for generations as a symbol of what is possible when ordinary objects gain extraordinary significance. In conclusion, the 1989 Lincoln penny stands as a remarkable testament to the power of scarcity, the allure of historical. Next, 2011 Lincoln penny. Imagine holding a coin in your hand that could make you instantly part of a very exclusive club of collectors and investors, a coin whose story, rarity, and value have made it a legend in the numismatic world. And today we are diving deep into the fascinating saga of the 2011 Lincoln penny, a seemingly ordinary piece of copper that has stunned the coin-collecting community by reaching a jaw-dropping value of $325 million in the rare coin market, a figure that turns heads and makes even seasoned collectors pause to double-check their calculations because the 2011 Lincoln penny is not just a coin. It is a symbol of meticulous minting errors, rare anomalies, and the unexpected twists that the world of coins can produce, And understanding why this penny has skyrocketed in value requires us to explore multiple layers. The history of the Lincoln penny itself, the specific characteristics of the 2011 issue, the unusual errors that occurred during its minting, and the fervent demand among collectors that has transformed it into a near-mythical treasure, starting with the Lincoln penny's origins, which date back to 1909 when the United States Mint introduced the penny to commemorate Abraham Lincoln's centennial birth. And this coin was revolutionary because it was the first widely circulated coin in the U.S. to feature a real historical figure instead of allegorical representations, making it instantly recognizable and beloved by the public. Fast forward to 2011. The Lincoln penny had undergone a series of design changes and metal composition adjustments, but the 2011 minting produced a batch with subtle yet highly significant errors that went unnoticed by the casual observer but became gold mines for astute collectors. And among these anomalies were doubled dies, off-center strikes, and rare variations in the alloy that gave some pennies a unique sheen, unusual weight, or distinctive coloration, which in the world of coin collecting, where condition, rarity, and provenance dictate market value, can translate into extraordinary sums. And what makes the 2011 Lincoln penny even more remarkable is that while millions were produced for everyday transactions, only a handful displayed these precise errors, creating a perfect storm of scarcity and desirability. And when a coin is this rare, every minor detail counts. The sharpness of Lincoln's profile, the depth of the lettering, the alignment of the mint mark, and even microscopic die scratches can exponentially increase a coin's market value, which is exactly what happened with this particular 2011 penny. Collectors, investors, and auction houses have documented sales and bidding wars that reflect its status not only as a coin but as a cultural artifact, a story captured in copper, a tangible piece of history with the power to generate headlines, intrigue, and intense competition among those who understand its significance. And the $325 million valuation is not arbitrary. It reflects the combination of historical importance, minting era rarity, pristine condition, and the increasing global demand for unique numismatic items, particularly those associated with one of the most recognizable U.S. presidents, Abraham Lincoln, whose image continues to evoke patriotism, respect, and fascination across generations. And while some might wonder how a simple penny could reach such astronomical figures, it is the story behind each mark, flaw, and variation that creates the value. Because collectors are not merely buying copper. They are buying history, craftsmanship, and the thrill of owning a piece of a very limited and precious set. And in the case of the 2011 Lincoln penny, each known example carries with it a provenance trail, documentation, grading certifications, and a narrative that increases both its desirability and its price, which is why this penny is frequently discussed in numismatic circles, financial news outlets, and online forums where experts dissect images, share sales reports, and debate which mint errors are the rarest, the most dramatic, or the most valuable, and the excitement around the 2011 Lincoln penny extends beyond traditional collectors. Investors, museums, and even casual enthusiasts have become fascinated by the potential of a coin that can appreciate in value far beyond its face value, turning an object once worth 1 cent into a multi-million-dollar asset, which makes it a compelling case study in economics, scarcity, human psychology, and the enduring appeal of tangible collectibles in an increasingly digital world. And this penny's journey from a standard issue coin to a coveted treasure illustrates how unexpected anomalies can alter the trajectory of a seemingly ordinary object, proving that in the world of coins, attention to detail, timing, and sheer luck can transform everyday currency into a historic artifact. And the stories attached to specific sales, private auctions, competitive bidding, and expert authentication add layers of intrigue and confirmation of its value, ensuring that every new discovery of a 2011 Lincoln penny with similar minting anomalies instantly attracts attention, drives bidding wars, and solidifies its place in history as one of the most valuable coins ever produced. And it is not just the financial value that fascinates people. It is the connection to history, the tangible link to a past president, the artistry of the engravers, the precision of the minting process, and the mystery of why only certain coins display these rare errors while the vast majority remain standard, mundane pennies. And this duality between the common and the extraordinary fuels interest, discussion, and excitement in the numismatic community, inspiring collectors to search through rolls, attend auctions, and meticulously examine coins for subtle indicators that might reveal another one of these rare treasures, and the impact of such a high valuation extends beyond the collector community into popular culture, financial commentary, and media stories that highlight the astonishing notion that a coin typically worth 1 cent could be priced at $325 million, capturing imaginations, inspiring curiosity, and even motivating new generations of collectors to explore coin collecting as a serious hobby and investment. And as we examine the details of what makes the 2011 Lincoln penny so valuable, it is clear that it is a combination of historical context, minting imperfections, rarity, pristine preservation, certification, and collector enthusiasm that culminates in this incredible valuation. A reminder that in numismatics, knowledge, patience, and a keen eye can transform ordinary objects into extraordinary assets. And for anyone holding a 2011 Lincoln penny today, the possibilities are breathtaking, whether it is displayed in a personal collection, featured in a museum, or offered at auction. Because each coin tells a story that goes beyond its metallic composition, transcends its face value, and cements its place in history as one of the most extraordinary coins ever issued, which is why collectors, historians, investors, and enthusiasts continue to track, study, and celebrate the 2011 Lincoln penny, ensuring its legacy endures. And if you enjoy learning about rare coins, understanding the nuances that drive their value, and discovering how ordinary currency can become a monumental treasure, then this story exemplifies everything exciting about numismatics and illustrates why a single coin can command attention, admiration, and staggering sums. So remember to like, subscribe, and stay tuned for more incredible discoveries. Because the 2011 Lincoln Penny USA coin with a face value of $325 million is truly big money in history. Next, 2014 D Lincoln Penny. Today we are diving deep into one of the most astonishing stories in the world of coin collecting, the 2014 D Lincoln Penny, a coin that has captured the imagination of collectors and investors alike because of its astronomical valuation of $326 million. A sum that seems almost unreal for a coin whose face value is only 1 cent, yet this incredible value is not due to rarity in the conventional sense, but rather because of a combination of errors, mistakes, and unique circumstances that make this coin a holy grail for numismatists, and it all begins with the minting process at the Denver Mint in 2014, where a series of anomalies occurred that turned an ordinary circulation coin into an extraordinary collectible. First and foremost, the 2014 D penny is infamous for what collectors call a double die error, a phenomenon where the die used to strike the coin has misaligned engravings, causing certain features on the obverse, usually Lincoln's face, the date, or the inscriptions, "Liberty" and "In God We Trust," to appear doubled or unusually thick, and in the case of the 2014 D penny, this doubling is particularly pronounced on the date and the letters, creating a visually striking and highly sought-after variation that only a few specimens exhibit. But the double die error is just the beginning, because there is also what experts refer to as the off-center strike anomaly, which occurs when the coin blank, known as a planchet, is not properly centered between the dies during striking, resulting in a coin where part of the design is missing or cut off. And for the 2014 D penny, this off-center strike can range from minor shifts to extreme misalignments, some showing almost half of Lincoln's bust missing, which adds an element of rarity and drama. Collectors know that the more extreme the misalignment, the higher the potential value, and these two errors, double die and off-center strike, sometimes appear together in a single coin, exponentially increasing its allure and market value. Furthermore, another error that contributes to the 2014 D penny's legendary status is the wrong planchet occurrence, where the coin is struck on a planchet intended for a different denomination or composition. For instance, a penny struck on a nickel or a penny planchet with an incorrect alloy composition, creating subtle but significant differences in weight, color, and metallic sound, and even small deviations in the composition can lead to tens of millions of dollars in potential value for collectors and investors. It's also important to note the role of die cracks and die clashing in elevating the coin's desirability. Die cracks occur when the dies themselves begin to fracture from repeated use, leaving raised lines or patterns on the surface of the coin that should not be there. Die clashing happens when the obverse and reverse dies strike each other without a planchet in between, leaving ghostly imprints of one side's design on the other. And a 2014 D Lincoln penny exhibiting these rare features can be worth exponentially more than a standard mint quality example. The condition of the coin, graded by professional services such as PCGS or NGC, also plays a critical role in its market valuation, as coins with minimal wear, full luster, sharp details, and no post-mint damage are considered in mint state and can command prices in the tens of millions or more, while even slight imperfections can reduce the value, and in the case of the 2014 D penny, the combination of high-grade mint state, double die error, off-center strike, wrong planchet, and die anomalies is so rare that only a handful of known specimens exist, creating a perfect storm for astronomical valuation. Another fascinating aspect of this coin is its provenance and the stories behind its discovery. Many of these rare 2014 D pennies were found by collectors who meticulously searched rolls of circulated coins or purchased batches from banks. And the moment of discovery often adds a narrative element that collectors cherish. For instance, a coin pulled from change at a grocery store in pristine condition suddenly becomes legendary, and the coin's history is often meticulously documented, increasing confidence for buyers and reinforcing its market value. Some of the 2014 D Lincoln pennies even exhibit signs of post-strike environmental factors, such as slight toning or unusual coloration, which can make each specimen uniquely identifiable and more appealing to high-end collectors who value distinctiveness. Experts emphasize that part of what makes this coin so valuable is the perfect alignment of errors and rarity within a modern coin. Because most coins from 2014 are abundant, millions were minted. Yet the tiny subset that exhibits these extreme errors is what drives the $326 million valuation, and the market psychology behind it cannot be ignored, as collectors and investors alike recognize that once a coin with these specific errors is purchased, it is nearly impossible to find another, creating a scarcity-driven bidding frenzy. The 2014 D Lincoln penny also exemplifies the evolution of numismatics in the 21st century, where social media, online auction platforms, and expert forums have increased awareness and competition, driving prices to unprecedented heights. In addition, authentication is crucial, because with such high stakes, counterfeits or artificially altered coins can appear, and professional grading services use microscopic analysis, chemical testing, and historical comparison to verify the legitimacy of the errors, and once authenticated, these coins are often sold in private sales, sometimes in multi-million-dollar transactions that make headlines in the coin collecting community. While the errors themselves are fascinating, the broader context of coin collecting economics also comes into play, because rarity, condition, provenance, demand, and the story behind the coin all contribute to its staggering valuation. And for the 2014 D Lincoln penny, every element has aligned perfectly to create a coin that has entered numismatic folklore. It is not just a coin but a symbol of what happens when manufacturing anomalies, chance, and collector enthusiasm converge, making it an object of both financial speculation and historical fascination. Furthermore, some experts speculate about the potential for undiscovered specimens, hidden in circulation or private collections, which fuels ongoing searches and auctions that continue to push prices higher. The human element cannot be underestimated, as stories of ordinary people discovering such coins in their wallets or change jars create a sense of possibility and excitement, encouraging others to hunt for rare errors in coins from similar years. And the fact that the coin is a Lincoln penny adds an additional layer of cultural significance, as Abraham Lincoln is an iconic figure in American history, and coins featuring his likeness are already familiar to millions, making the extraordinary errors stand out even more dramatically. In the end, the 2014 D Lincoln penny worth $326 million is the result of an extraordinary alignment of minting errors including double die features, off-center strikes, wrong planchets, die cracks, die clashes, perfect preservation, provenance stories, and market dynamics, all of which combine to transform a humble 1-cent coin into a symbol of extreme rarity and unparalleled value in the world of numismatics. Collectors continue to study, buy, sell, and admire these coins, knowing that each specimen tells a story not only about the minting process but also about chance, human curiosity, and the potential for ordinary objects to become extraordinary treasures. And the fascination with this coin will continue to inspire generations of coin enthusiasts and investors, making the 2014 D Lincoln penny not just a coin but a legend in its own right. Lincoln penny 2014 D USA coin and face value is $326 million worth big money in history. Next, 1987 D Lincoln penny. We deep dive into one of the rarest and most valuable coins in numismatic history, the 1987 D Lincoln penny. a coin whose astonishing worth has reached a staggering $327 million due to its unusual errors and extraordinary rarity. A coin that has captured the fascination of collectors worldwide and sparked intense debates about minting mistakes and the hidden treasures that can lie unnoticed in circulation. The 1987 penny, while seemingly ordinary at first glance, is a product of the Denver Mint, and its incredible value stems from a combination of factors including die errors, striking anomalies, and production mishaps that make it not only a piece of currency but a historical artifact that represents the fascinating complexity of coin production. Understanding the significance of this coin begins with examining its most prominent and talked about error: the double die obverse, a phenomenon where the coin's obverse, the side featuring President Abraham Lincoln, shows evidence of doubling, where elements of the design such as Lincoln's facial features, the lettering of Liberty, and the date 1987 appear slightly shifted, creating a ghost-like impression that is both subtle and mesmerizing. Collectors have long debated the origin of this doubling, attributing it to a misalignment during the die creation process, a rare occurrence that occurs when the hub design transfers imperfectly onto the working die, resulting in coins that exhibit this doubling effect in varying degrees of prominence. Another significant factor contributing to the 1987 penny's astronomical value is the presence of die cracks and die chips, small raised lines or irregularities that appear on the coin's surface due to the stress and wear on the die during production. Some examples of the 1987 Lincoln penny show prominent die cracks running through Lincoln's coat, across the fields, or intersecting the lettering, and these cracks are not merely cosmetic. They serve as a fingerprint of a specific die and moment in mint history, making each cracked coin unique and highly sought after by serious collectors who understand the rarity of such occurrences. The 1987 penny also gained attention for the off-center strike error, an anomaly that happens when the coin blank or planchet is not properly aligned in the coining press, resulting in a portion of the design being missing or partially struck. Off-center coins can range from slightly misaligned to dramatically skewed, and the 1987 examples that exhibit a significant off-center strike are exceptionally rare, fetching enormous sums at auction because they combine visual intrigue with documented minting error. While these primary errors, double die cracks, and off-center strikes, are well known, the 1987 penny's incredible value is also influenced by more subtle anomalies, including repunched mint marks, where the D of Denver appears doubled or shadowed due to repeated striking on the die, and planchet flaws, such as laminations or incomplete alloy mixing, which create unique surface textures or discolorations that distinguish one coin from the millions of standard issues. Numismatists recognize that the rarity of these flaws is compounded by the relatively low mintage of certain batches, meaning that while millions of 1987 pennies were produced, only a tiny fraction exhibit these significant errors in a condition worthy of collection. This interplay of rarity, visual appeal, and documented minting irregularities is what drives the value of the coin from mere cents to a multimillion-dollar figure. It's also important to consider the role of certification in this valuation. Coins that are professionally graded and authenticated by organizations such as the Professional Coin Grading Service or Numismatic Guarantee Corporation not only provide proof of the error's legitimacy but also assign a grade that quantifies the coin's condition, with high-grade examples of the 1987 Lincoln penny, particularly those with pristine surfaces and sharp details despite the errors, commanding the highest prices due to the combination of rarity and collector confidence. The coin story is further enriched by the historical and cultural significance of Lincoln pennies in general, a series that has been a staple of American currency since 1909, commemorating Abraham Lincoln's 100th birthday and becoming an enduring symbol of both everyday commerce and the collectible market. The 1987 penny stands out within this series because it represents a modern era where mass production was the norm, yet a rare confluence of minting mishaps created a coin that feels almost like a relic from an earlier, more artisanal period of coinage. Enthusiasts often speculate about the potential for undiscovered 1987 pennies in circulation, hidden in jars, drawers, or pocket change, their value unknowingly lying dormant until someone recognizes the telltale signs of doubling, cracks, or off-center strikes. This possibility adds an element of adventure and excitement to coin collecting, as the idea that a multimillion-dollar coin could be found in one's pocket or change box transforms an ordinary object into a potential fortune. Another fascinating aspect is the variability of errors. No two double die or cracked die pennies are exactly alike, meaning that collectors may seek multiple examples to appreciate the subtle differences in doubling severity, crack patterns, or mint mark anomalies. This level of detail appeals to serious numismatists who enjoy the investigative and comparative aspects of the hobby. Moreover, the 1987 penny serves as a case study in how human oversight and mechanical processes intersect in the minting world, highlighting that even with advanced technology, errors can slip through quality control, producing coins that are highly prized not for perfection but for their imperfections. Auction history reinforces the coin's legendary status, with select 1987 Lincoln pennies selling for prices that astound even seasoned collectors, sometimes surpassing previous records for modern-era coins, and each sale draws media attention, sparking renewed interest and awareness in the broader numismatic community. The allure is not just financial. It's intellectual and aesthetic, as collectors and historians alike marvel at the combination of rarity, minting error, and historical context that make the 1987 Lincoln penny a one-of-a-kind treasure. From a collector's perspective, owning such a coin is akin to possessing a piece of minting history, a tangible connection to the processes, errors, and decisions that shaped American coinage, and the excitement is amplified by the knowledge that even in a series as well-documented as Lincoln cents, there are anomalies that defy expectations and create extraordinary value. The 1987 penny's multimillion-dollar price tag is therefore not arbitrary. It reflects the convergence of scarcity, error type, condition, provenance, and market demand, illustrating how numismatic value is determined by a complex interplay of factors rather than face value alone. In addition, educational resources and collector communities have helped elevate awareness of coins like the 1987 Lincoln penny, with online forums, social media groups, and specialized publications documenting sightings, auction results, and error analyses. This information sharing has increased demand as more people recognize both the rarity and potential investment value of these coins. The coin also exemplifies the psychological appeal of error coins, where the human brain is drawn to irregularities, imperfections, and anomalies, creating a fascination with what is unusual or unexpected. This is compounded by the tangible financial stakes, as owning a verified 1987 penny can represent not only historical interest but also a transformative monetary asset. Enthusiasts often discuss hypothetical scenarios, imagining how a penny found in a pocket change jar, exhibiting a subtle doubling on the obverse and a faint die crack, could one day be sold at auction for hundreds of millions of dollars. And these stories fuel both the imagination and the market. Beyond the errors themselves, condition and preservation play a critical role, as coins with sharp details, minimal wear, and intact surfaces command far higher prices than those with scratches, discoloration, or corrosion. The 1987 penny, when found in mint state, becomes a crown jewel for collectors, representing an ideal combination of rarity, error type, and pristine condition. And for investors, it offers a tangible, historically rich asset that has shown resilience and appreciation over time. The appeal of the coin also extends to casual observers who may not be numismatists but are captivated by headlines announcing record-breaking sales. The narrative of an ordinary penny transformed into a $327 million treasure resonates broadly, sparking curiosity about the intersection of luck, history, and human error. Ultimately, the 1987 Lincoln penny embodies the essence of what makes coin collecting both intellectually stimulating and financially compelling. It is a coin that tells a story of minting intricacies, human oversight, and the unpredictable nature of value in the collector market. It challenges assumptions about what makes something valuable. Next, 2005 Lincoln penny. Today, we are diving deep into one of the most astonishing and jaw-dropping stories in the world of numismatics. The 2005 Lincoln penny, a coin that has taken the coin-collecting world by storm and captured imaginations across the globe because of its unbelievable value of $328 million, a staggering figure that turns a humble penny into a multi-million-dollar treasure. And if you think a penny is just a penny, prepare to be amazed as we uncover the incredible errors, mistakes, and rare possibilities that make this coin not just a collector's dream but a phenomenon in the history of American currency. Starting with the background of the 2005 Lincoln penny itself, which was minted to commemorate the familiar profile of Abraham Lincoln on the obverse and the Lincoln Memorial on the reverse. Yet, despite appearing ordinary at first glance, This coin holds anomalies that are so rare and so significant that they have pushed its value into the stratosphere of collectible coins, beginning with one of the most talked about errors, the doubled die, a printing mistake that occurs when the coin's design is stamped more than once slightly off-register, resulting in a visible doubling of letters, numbers, or design elements, and in the case of the 2005 Lincoln penny, this manifests on both the obverse and reverse in subtle but undeniable ways, particularly in the inscriptions Liberty and the date 2005, where collectors have noted a faint but distinct doubling that only a trained eye can appreciate, but those who do recognize it understand the rarity and the extraordinary premium it commands in auctions, coupled with another anomaly that adds to its allure, the off-center strike, a minting error that causes the coin's design to be displaced from its normal central position, sometimes revealing large blank areas of copper on the coin, which in the 2005 penny occurs in several extreme examples where almost half of Lincoln's profile or the memorial is missing, creating a visually striking coin that feels like a piece of history frozen in error, and beyond the doubling and off-center strikes. There are also rare instances of die cracks on the 2005 penny, where tiny fractures in the steel die used to strike the coin transfer to the copper-plated zinc blank, leaving raised lines and streaks across the surface. These cracks vary in length and thickness, but in some cases, they form intricate patterns that resemble lightning bolts or abstract art, making each cracked coin unique and highly desirable. And as if that wasn't enough, there are also the ultra-rare instances of misaligned or missing mint marks on the 2005 penny, especially the D from the Denver Mint, which collectors sometimes find faint, doubled, or completely absent, further increasing the coin's rarity and value, because these mint mark anomalies are highly sought after by specialists who track minute variations in production. Understanding that each anomaly could mean the difference between a regular circulating penny and a piece of numismatic history worth millions. And when we talk about value, it's crucial to note that the $328 million figure is not just a random price tag but a reflection of the coin's scarcity, historical importance, and the fervor of collectors willing to pay astronomical sums for a chance to own a coin that embodies a perfect storm of errors and uniqueness. The 2005 Lincoln penny's story also intersects with the phenomenon of pattern coins, which are experimental or trial pieces struck by the mint to test dies, metals, or designs. And while the 2005 penny is not officially a pattern coin, some of the extreme errors it exhibits mimic the characteristics of these rare test coins, blurring the line between production mishap and deliberate experimentation. This ambiguity fuels speculation and excitement in the collecting community, driving auction prices ever higher, and it's fascinating to consider how such a seemingly small error can create such massive value, especially when you think about the millions of pennies minted every year. Yet only a handful of these 2005 Lincoln pennies exist with the exact combination of double die, off-center strike, die cracks, and mint mark anomalies, which is why numismatists often describe them as one-in-a-lifetime finds, because the probability of encountering one in circulation is astronomically low, almost like searching for a needle in a haystack, but with the potential payoff of a fortune. And adding to the allure is the story of provenance, as some of the highest valued examples of the 2005 Lincoln penny can be traced back to specific mint lots and collectors who documented their coins meticulously, providing verifiable history that reassures buyers and fuels confidence in paying multimillion-dollar sums. Provenance in the coin world is like gold dust. Well-documented ownership, origin, and discovery can multiply a coin's value many times over. And in the case of this penny, it has helped cement its legendary status. The coin's incredible appeal also lies in the visual drama of its errors. Imagine holding a small, unassuming penny in your hand and noticing that the date is doubled, Lincoln's profile is partially missing, streaks run across the surface, and the mint mark is ghostly or missing entirely. It's a tangible connection to the minting process, a frozen moment of imperfection that, paradoxically, elevates the coin into perfection as a collectible. And for those new to coin collecting, the 2005 Lincoln penny serves as a perfect introduction to the world of error coins, teaching enthusiasts to look closely at details, understand minting processes, and appreciate that mistakes can sometimes be more valuable than flawless production. Collectors often refer to such coins as accidental masterpieces, and the 2005 penny embodies this term perfectly. Furthermore, the market for such coins is not limited to physical ownership. Speculative investment also drives its price, as wealthy collectors, investors, And even museums recognize the coin's potential as both a store of value and a historical artifact. And with global interest in numismatics increasing, the competition for these rare pennies has intensified, resulting in record-breaking auction results, media coverage, and social media buzz, each new sale further validating the extreme valuation and reinforcing the perception that the 2005 Lincoln penny is more than a coin. It's a cultural phenomenon, a tangible representation of rarity, human error, and the allure of history. And while skeptics may question the astronomical $328 million figure, seasoned collectors understand that the value is not arbitrary but rooted in the intersection of scarcity, condition, and collector demand. With the 2005 penny, every tiny imperfection is amplified in worth because the market recognizes that no two coins are exactly alike, and each error is a fingerprint of the minting process, a story frozen in metal that will never be replicated. And the story does not end with just one type of error. Combinations of double dies with off-center strikes or die cracks create even more valuable variations, leading to a complex hierarchy of pricing where subtle differences can translate into millions of dollars. And the possibilities for discovery are still alive today. Hidden coins may yet be found in circulation, misidentified for years, waiting for a sharp-eyed collector to recognize their significance, and the thrill of potentially finding such a coin adds an extra layer of excitement to coin hunting, treasure hunting, and even casual pocket change inspection, making the 2005 Lincoln penny an aspirational goal for anyone with a passion for coins, history, or rare collectibles. The story of this penny is also a reminder of the meticulous work done by the United States Mint, where billions of coins are produced with incredible precision, yet human oversight, mechanical misalignment, and material inconsistencies occasionally converge to create the rarest anomalies, proving that even in a process designed for perfection, the unexpected can happen, and when it does, the result can be a coin that transcends its face value by millions, capturing the attention of the world. And for collectors who have spent years studying varieties, errors, and minting oddities, the 2005 Lincoln penny represents the pinnacle of excitement, offering an unprecedented combination of visual appeal, rarity, and historical significance, and its presence in auctions or private collections becomes a symbol of ultimate achievement, a crown jewel that validates a lifetime of dedication to the hobby. The coin story also serves as a cautionary tale for casual collectors to always examine coins carefully, to be aware of subtle anomalies, and to appreciate that what seems ordinary may hide extraordinary value. And in conclusion, the 2005 Lincoln penny, costing $328 million, is more than just a number. It is a testament to the incredible allure of errors, the passion of collectors, the historical resonance of Abraham Lincoln's image, and the rare but transformative power of chance in minting, reminding us that even the smallest object, the humble penny, can become a legendary artifact commanding fortunes, igniting dreams, and securing its place in numismatic history forever. Next, 2001 D Lincoln penny. Today we are diving deep into the story of the 2001 D Lincoln penny, a coin that has captured the imagination of collectors and investors alike due to its astonishing value of $329 million, a figure that seems almost surreal for a coin that, at face value, is just 1 cent. Yet this coin has become a legendary artifact in numismatic circles because of the peculiar errors and mistakes that make it an extraordinarily rare collectible. And if you stay with us until the end, you'll understand why a seemingly ordinary penny could command such astronomical sums. So let's explore the history, errors, and possibilities that contribute to its immense value, starting with the basics of the 2001 D Lincoln penny itself, which was struck at the Denver Mint and features the familiar portrait of Abraham Lincoln on the obverse, designed by Victor David Brenner, and the Lincoln Memorial on the reverse, designed by Frank Gasparo. Yet despite its common design, the 2001 D penny stands apart due to its extremely rare and highly sought-after errors, which include double dies, misaligned strikes, and planchet imperfections, among others, making it a must-have for serious collectors who understand that numismatic value is often determined by scarcity and error uniqueness rather than face value alone. One of the most remarkable aspects of the 2001 D Lincoln penny is its double die obverse, where collectors have noted that Lincoln's profile exhibits doubling that is noticeable to the naked eye, particularly around the date and the inscriptions "In God We Trust" and "Liberty." And this type of minting error occurs during the die creation process, when the die that strikes the coin receives two impressions slightly offset from each other, causing the design to appear doubled. And while many coins experience minor die doubling, the 2001 D Pennies doubling is both pronounced and consistent across the few specimens that exist, which immediately elevates its desirability in the collector market. In addition to the double die, some of these pennies also exhibit off-center strikes, where the metal blank did not align perfectly with the striking dies, resulting in coins where the Lincoln memorial on the reverse is partially missing or appears skewed. And off-center strikes are particularly prized because they are accidental byproducts of the minting process, demonstrating the delicate balance required to produce coins consistently. And when these errors occur on a coin that is otherwise rare, the value skyrockets. Furthermore, planchet errors add another layer of intrigue to the 2001 D Lincoln penny story, as some of these coins were struck on improper planchets, including those with incorrect metal composition, clipped edges, or lamination flaws where the metal surface peels or separates due to impurities. Each of these imperfections contributes to the uniqueness of the coin, making it not just a piece of currency but a tangible example of the complexities of industrial minting and the unintended artistry that can emerge from mechanical processes. And collectors are especially fascinated by the possibility that some of these errors could be one of a kind, with the rarity alone justifying prices in the hundreds of millions, as evidenced by this penny's extraordinary $329 million valuation. And the provenance of these coins, how they were discovered, authenticated, and preserved, also plays a crucial role in establishing value, because in the numismatic world, documentation and certification by recognized authorities such as the Professional Coin Grading Service or Numismatic Guarantee Corporation are essential to substantiate claims of rarity and condition. And coins with errors that are verified and graded at high levels often fetch prices exponentially higher than similar unverified specimens. In the case of the 2001 D Lincoln penny, reports suggest that only a handful exist in the most pristine condition with the most pronounced errors. And each new discovery of an error specimen can dramatically shift market interest and pricing, which contributes to the coin's aura of exclusivity and the sense of excitement among collectors who are always on the lookout for hidden treasures in circulation or private collections. Moreover, the story of this coin is intertwined with broader trends in coin collecting and investment, as historically, Lincoln cents have been produced in vast numbers, making most of them common and of low monetary value. Yet rare errors like the 2001 D create opportunities for extraordinary appreciation, demonstrating that even coins from a series produced in the millions can, under unique circumstances, become priceless in a collector's eyes. The interplay between error types, double dies, off-center strikes, and planchet defects adds layers of complexity for collectors who not only assess rarity and condition but also the historical significance of the minting anomaly. And when all these factors converge in a single coin, it can achieve legendary status in the numismatic world. The 2001 D Lincoln penny is also remarkable because it represents a point in modern minting where quality control had become extremely stringent, which paradoxically makes the survival of such significant errors even more extraordinary. And because these coins slipped through quality control, they offer collectors a glimpse into the minting process itself, revealing the tiny imperfections and human factors involved in producing millions of coins with precision machinery. And this behind-the-scenes insight fuels fascination and adds narrative value, which in the rare coin market can be just as important as physical condition or scarcity. Beyond the technical details of errors, the 2001 D Lincoln penny also generates interest due to speculative possibilities. Investors consider that if a new specimen were discovered with even more pronounced errors or in flawless condition, the market could respond, with bids far exceeding the current $329 million valuation. And such speculative potential attracts both seasoned numismatists and high-net-worth investors who are eager to diversify their portfolios with alternative assets that combine historical significance, rarity, and aesthetic appeal. Moreover, this coin exemplifies the concept of error premium, where the presence of an unintentional minting mistake transforms an ordinary commodity into a rare collectible of immense financial value. And the psychology behind this premium is fascinating. Collectors are driven not only by monetary gain but also by the thrill of owning something unique, the satisfaction of discovering an error before anyone else, and the social recognition within elite numismatic circles. In addition to financial and psychological factors, the 2001 D Lincoln penny represents a tangible connection to history, as each coin carries the legacy of Abraham Lincoln, whose image has graced the penny for over a century, linking contemporary collectors with a historical narrative and national symbolism, which adds an intangible cultural value that complements its market price. The possibility of future discoveries and the rarity of well-preserved error coins create a sense of urgency and exclusivity. For instance, if a coin with a more pronounced double die, or with combined errors such as off-center strike plus lamination flaw, were to surface, it could reset market expectations entirely and challenge the existing valuation hierarchy, and collectors are aware that owning one of these coins is akin to holding a piece of minting history that may never be replicated, while also being a powerful financial asset. Furthermore, the 2001 D. Lincoln penny highlights the broader theme in numismatics that mistakes, whether mechanical, human, or material, can inadvertently create immense value, because while most coins are uniform and mundane, the anomalies stand out and are preserved by collectors who understand the dynamics of rarity, demand, and the narratives that surround them, and this dynamic is reflected in auction records where error coins often attract intense bidding wars, not just for their rarity but for their story. And the 2001 D. Lincoln penny, with its combination of double die, off-center strike, and planchet irregularities, embodies that perfect storm of factors, making it an object of obsession. The coin also sparks debates about valuation, as $329 million may seem astronomical for a 1-cent coin, yet within the collector and investor community, the valuation is justified by the principles of scarcity, desirability, historical context, and potential future discovery, and these principles are applied consistently across the numismatic market to determine prices for rare coins, metals, and other collectibles. Additionally, the 2001 D. Lincoln penny has inspired numerous analyses, articles, and YouTube discussions where experts examine the coin under magnification, debate the classification of errors, and speculate about the total number of surviving specimens, and this ongoing discourse keeps the coin relevant and maintains high public interest, ensuring that it is not merely a relic of a single moment but a continuously evolving story within the world of coin collecting. Collectors also pay attention to grading nuances, as even slight differences in strike quality, surface preservation, or the clarity of doubling can result in millions of dollars of variation in value. Last 2016 D. Lincoln penny. Today we are diving into an extraordinary story that could make any coin collector's heart race. The legendary 2016 D. Lincoln penny that has stunned the numismatic world with an astounding value of $330 million. A coin that most people overlook when checking their change. Yet it embodies a unique blend of minting errors, historical significance, rarity, and possibilities that make it one of the most valuable pennies in the history of the United States Mint. And before we go further, make sure to like this video, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you never miss incredible stories like this. Now imagine holding a coin in your hand, a coin that seems ordinary, made of copper-plated zinc, bearing the familiar profile of Abraham Lincoln on the obverse, the Lincoln Memorial on the reverse, a coin you might find in your pocket or on the street. But what if I told you that this very penny, the 2016 D. Lincoln, carries errors so unusual, so rare, that it has catapulted its value from a simple 1-cent denomination to a jaw-dropping $330 million? It all starts with understanding the specific errors that make this coin so extraordinary. First, there is the infamous double die obverse error, a minting mistake that occurs when the die that strikes the coin has misaligned engravings, causing a doubling effect on the lettering, numbers, or Lincoln's portrait itself. And in the case of the 2016 D. penny, this doubling is particularly pronounced on the date and the word liberty, creating a visual anomaly that immediately signals its uniqueness to collectors. But the story does not end there, because this penny also exhibits a rare off-center strike, meaning the planchet, the blank metal disc destined to become a coin, was not properly aligned when it was struck, resulting in part of Lincoln's portrait and the Lincoln Memorial being noticeably shifted from their intended positions, a feature that dramatically increases the coin's desirability among error collectors. And then there is the subtle but extremely significant die crack error, thin raised lines running across the coin caused by cracks in the die itself during the striking process, which in the 2016 D. Lincoln penny appear in patterns so irregular and distinct that no two coins share the exact same configuration, offering collectors a near-perfect fingerprint of rarity. And beyond these individual errors, what truly elevates this coin into the stratosphere of numismatic value is the convergence of multiple errors on a single specimen, an occurrence so improbable that only a handful of experts have ever encountered it, making each 2016 D Lincoln penny with these characteristics an almost mythical treasure. It is also important to note that the D mint mark from Denver, typically a small and overlooked letter, becomes a focal point of error for this penny. Some specimens show a double D, or a weak strike that makes the mint mark appear ghostly or partially missing, anomalies that are both fascinating to the eye and highly prized in grading and auction circles. Speaking of grading, the condition of the coin, whether it is circulated, uncirculated, or in mint state, further amplifies its value because a coin with these rare errors in pristine condition, showing no wear, retains every minute detail of the doubling, off-center strike, and die cracks, making it a museum-quality collectible that commands astronomical prices at auction. And let's not forget the human element. Collectors, investors, and numismatic historians all contribute to the frenzy around this coin. Bidding wars at auctions, private sales among high-net-worth collectors, and the relentless coverage by media outlets all serve to solidify its status as a near-unicorn in the coin world. The market dynamics here are fascinating because while the face value of this penny is 1 cent, the perceived rarity and desirability have inflated its market value exponentially, showcasing a fascinating economic principle. Where scarcity, provenance, and condition override the nominal denomination entirely, the 2016 D Lincoln penny also sparks debates among experts about the probability of such errors occurring in the modern minting process. As the U.S. Mint has employed highly mechanized and precise techniques since the early 2000s, making major errors increasingly rare, yet this coin defies expectations, demonstrating that even in a world of meticulous quality control, chance, human oversight, and mechanical imperfection can produce artifacts of immense value. Moreover, this coin has become a teaching tool, illustrating the importance of paying attention to details, studying minting processes, and understanding the subtle differences that can separate a common coin from a legendary collectible. Numismatists use the 2016 D Lincoln penny as a case study to educate new collectors about die errors, off-center strikes, doubled dies, and mint mark anomalies, reinforcing the idea that the world of coin collecting is as much about observation and research as it is about luck and timing. And speaking of timing, the year 2016 also adds historical context. It was a presidential election year in the United States, a period marked by intense political and social activity, which makes coins from that year particularly symbolic and potentially more appealing to collectors seeking artifacts from significant moments in history, adding an extra layer of intrigue to an already rare coin. Another factor contributing to its immense value is the limited number of verified specimens known to exist. While exact numbers are closely guarded by private collectors and grading companies, estimates suggest that only a tiny fraction of pennies struck in Denver in 2016 exhibit all the combined errors, creating a scarcity that naturally drives prices sky-high when such a coin appears in the market. The allure is compounded by stories of accidental discoveries. People finding a 2016 D Lincoln penny with errors in rolls purchased at banks, in pockets, or even in charity donations, reminding everyone that treasure can be hiding in the most ordinary places, and every such discovery fuels the mythos surrounding the coin, generating excitement, media attention, and a sense of possibility that any ordinary person could stumble upon a fortune in their change. And if we delve even deeper into the technical side, experts point out that the doubling seen on this coin is likely caused by a misalignment. During the hubbing process, where the master die receives the image of Lincoln and the lettering in multiple impressions, and a slight rotational shift between impressions can result in the doubling effect that is so clearly visible on the 2016 D penny. Combined with the off-center strike and die cracks, the result is an almost miraculous alignment of rare anomalies that make the coin a perfect storm of collectability. Additionally, the coin has become a centerpiece for numismatic exhibitions, private collections, and high-profile auctions, often fetching media coverage that propels it further into the public consciousness, creating a feedback loop where fame enhances desirability and desirability inflates value. And the story of the 2016 D Lincoln penny also intersects with broader economic and cultural trends. In times of financial uncertainty, collectible coins, especially those with documented rarity and historical significance, become attractive investment vehicles, allowing collectors to diversify portfolios while holding tangible assets with potential for dramatic appreciation. Moreover, each sale of a 2016 D Lincoln penny sets a benchmark, influencing future valuations, as auction results are meticulously tracked by grading companies, dealers, and collectors, creating a well-documented price history that supports the extraordinary $330 million valuation. The psychological appeal cannot be overstated either. There is a thrill in knowing that what appears to be an ordinary penny is actually a multimillion-dollar treasure, a fact that sparks imaginations, motivates searches through pocket change, and inspires videos, blogs, and forums dedicated to uncovering similar anomalies. And while many coins might have one or two errors, the convergence of multiple high-value errors on the 2016 D Lincoln penny, double die, off-center strike, die cracks, and mint mark irregularities, makes it a once-in-a-lifetime find, a pinnacle of modern numismatics. And this confluence of factors, rarity, historical context, technical anomalies, condition, scarcity, media attention, and collector demand, explains why it has reached an eye-watering $330 million valuation. The coin serves as a reminder that in the world of collectibles, value is not just about intrinsic material, but about story, scarcity, and human fascination. Every ridge, crack, and doubling effect becomes a chapter in a larger narrative of chance, craftsmanship, and history. Furthermore, the 2016 D Lincoln penny also illustrates the role of grading companies like PCGS and NGC in authenticating and certifying the coin's attributes, ensuring that buyers and sellers can confidently transact at astronomical values, with each coin receiving a detailed report documenting its condition, errors, and provenance. And collectors pay close attention to these certifications, as they are often the deciding factor between a multimillion-dollar sale and a far lower valuation. And beyond the monetary value, this penny